Hi, this is Greg Bridges with Trading the Pips. So today I want to go over how to set up support and resistance lines and the easiest way to set up your support and resistance line. So I already have a chart pulled up, but I'm going to just back out of it real quick, show you guys. So this is my liveforex.com account. I already have Euro USD pulled up on the chart, and this is the daily chart. So the easiest way is to go right here and see you have all your different charts. So if you click on, it's on daily chart right now, we can click on weekly chart. It'll change the look of it. We can change it to monthly chart. It'll change the look of it again, right? So today we're going to use the weekly chart. The daily chart, I'm sorry guys. So we have our daily chart up, and I actually can move it around. So how to set up our support and resistance line. So once you log into your forex.com account, you have your chart set up and you have it set at daily, we're gonna once again go to the forex.com website, and instead of logging in, we're gonna go and click on market analysis, and we're gonna go down to pivot points. So once we have our pivot point up, we're gonna just take a look. We have AUD CAD. We're gonna go right here and we're gonna change this to Euro USD. Just keep scrolling down. We see our Euro USD. And then we see we have a pivot point of 1.07931. We have a bid ask price up. We have the distance between the two. And then it also shows your high and low for the previous day, which in this case, it's talking about the highs and lows of Friday. So we have a high and low of high of 1.08297, a low of 1.07271, and we have a closing price, meaning once the day closed on Friday, it closed at 1.08225, right? So current price at closing of Friday, once the market went down, was 1.08225. If you know anything about Forex, you know that the market goes from Sunday to Friday. They take a break on Saturday, and then they open back up on Sunday at 5 o'clock. So that's pretty much how the market goes. Now, what I told you I wanted to go over was support and resistance lines. So Forex.com gives you those support and resistance lines for the daily, the weekly, and monthly. As you can tell, those numbers change, right? So we're going to click on daily, because these things can possibly change as the days goes on, right? So the daily support and resistance line for Forex.com right now are right here. We have resistance 3, resistance 2, resistance 1. We have support 1, support 2, support 3. So we'll go ahead and start with, let's see what we have. We'll click over here back on our main chart, and we'll go down to horizontal line. We'll click on horizontal lines. You can tell it's already blue. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click, boom. I'm going to do one line. We're going to do 2 lines, and we're going to do 3 lines. As you can tell, I already have support weekly already set up in here. So what I'm going to have to do is, you see that it already has the last line. It has that little ball on it. I'll go ahead and change this so I can actually click on it. But it has the little ball on it. So basically, you can click on it. You can right click on it for a little bit more accuracy. You'll see all that stuff sitting up on there. It'll be easier to just click right there, settings, and we're going to change that away from it says days and weeks. We're going to take away the weeks, so it's not going to show on the weekly chart. We're going to go over to style, and we're going to change that. It says support 3 weekly. We're going to change that to daily, and then we're going to go to coordinates. Now, coordinates is where this line is actually going to sit in terms of support and resistance, right? So we're going to click back over on our page, and we said support 3 is 1.06539. We're going to go back to it. We're going to say 1.06539, and we're going to click OK. Now, as you can tell, we have a secondary line. That was my mistake. We'll go ahead and delete it. And we have our support 3 daily line set up right here. So why is it saying it's a support 3 daily line? As you can tell, we have these wicks that's coming out right here from the candlesticks, from the red candlesticks, meaning the market was going down, from the green candlesticks, and it was hitting this line. And you could tell that it was hitting the line, it was going back up. So it was reversing, going back up. So basically what they're saying is that inside this particular day, or on the daily chart, the lowest that this thing could possibly go right around this chart is at this support 3 line. At the support 3 line, you possibly want to think about getting out if you're in a trade, or buying if the market is already down that low. So anyway, we're gonna go to the support 2 line. We're gonna right click on it, or you can left click on it. Either way, click on your settings again. Same thing for visibility. Change it. Get rid of the weekly. The weekly tab. We're gonna change this to support 2 daily, and we're gonna go over here to coordinates. We're gonna change that, and we'll go back to the tab, and we're gonna say, okay, support 2 was 106.905. Click back on that, and we're gonna go 106.905, and we're gonna click OK. So now we have our support 2 daily set up. We're gonna do the same thing for the one that says support 3 weekly. We're gonna hit our settings once again, style, change it to support 1 daily. And you can name it whatever you want. You can do it just like the Forex website says. It has S1, S2, S3. I just want to make sure that I keep track of it, so I just name it support 1 daily. Go to visibility, do the same thing, remove weeks, go to coordinates, and go back to your website. Support 1 is 107.565. And we'll do that 107.565. And bam. So now we have our 3 support and resistance lines. So just looking at the chart, and I can bring it up just a bit. We'll do like that. We have where the market is headed down, and if we blow it up just a bit, zoom in, we can tell that we had some movement where the market was going down, these red candles, right? And we have a wick coming out of this red candle right here that touched the support 1 daily line. And then we have a green candlestick that did the same thing. It touched the support 1 daily line and actually came down somewhere in between the middle of support 1 and support 2 before reversing back up. You see the full body of the candle, and then it started to head up. Once the market closed, it closed at 108.173. Somewhere around the price range where it said it closed on the forex.com chart. It says yes, 173.1 on the bid price, current bid price I should say, is 1.08 that's if you're putting your buy in right now. That's where it's at right now. All right, so we have our support line set up. So if we were a betting man, or we were trying to get into this forex trade, and we would have said that, hey, at that support 1 daily, we believe that you could put your buy order at 107.553, somewhere around there, and at some point during the day, it was going to start heading up. Or you could have put your buy in at 106.881, and it'll possibly go up from there. If it breaks through that line, then you say, hey, my next line is at 106.476. And so you can put your buys in right there. You also, if you were reversing and you were selling, you would do the same thing with your resistance lines. So it depends on you. So once again, to do our resistance lines, we'll click right back on our horizontal. We'll change the color to red. And we'll do 1. We'll do 1 for now because we want to go ahead and change the way it's set up. So we'll click on settings, and we'll go over here to style, and we'll change this to resistance. So it's going to say resistance 1 daily. So we have resistance 1 daily. We're going to go to visibility. We have days only. We're going to click on coordinates, and we're going to go back to the Forex website, and we're going to say resistance 1 was at 108.591. And 108.591. We're going to click on OK. And now we have our first resistance line. We're going to click right back on what we have, and we're going to go line 2, line 3. We're going to go back to our icon. We still have the ball on 3, so we're going to go to settings. We're going to change that in terms of style, and we'll change that to 3. We'll go and put coordinates in, go back to the website. Resistance 3 was at 109.617. We'll type that in, 109.617. And then, of course, you can check your visibility, make sure we only have days checked. Okay. And then we'll go back to the one that says 1, click on it. Settings, once again, visibility is already set for days. We'll click over to styles. We'll change that to resistance 2 daily. And then we'll click on coordinates. Back to the Forex website, resistance 2 is right here, 108.957. And we'll type that in, 108.957. And okay. So now what do we have? We have all 3 of our support lines, and we have all 3 our resistance lines on the daily chart. So if we wanted to, we can blow this up a bit. You know, you pretty much just spread the chart going upward. And it's going to show you pretty much what you can do. So if we were doing, we're getting in on a sale, we could say that where this green candlestick is, as it continues to rise up, we believe that we can go in at a sell at the resistance 1 daily line. And because we believe that right around that line, the market will reverse and possibly start heading downward, right? So anytime we hit that line, we put in for our sell prices, and we believe that it will start traveling downward. And I'll just give you guys, let's see what we have here in terms of our arrangements that we could use. And it's quite a bit of them, actually. Crap. We'll use the arrow right here. So we'll say that from there, we can go up to there. We'll change that to green. We can head up, and then it's a possibility that from there, we can go down right around that support line. We'll change that to red so you guys understand. It's a possibility that this thing could continue to move up and hit support 2. And then from support 2, it could then travel down, and it could actually drop back down to resistance 1, or it could come on back down towards this way. Or we'll move this over some. Just trying to make sure you guys understand. We click on the green one again. We're saying they could go up to resistance 3, which is a nice jump. So basically it cuts to resistance 1, it cuts to resistance 2, and go up to resistance 3. And then we could see a possible drop back down to resistance 2 line, resistance 1 line, and possibly down towards the support line. But at each one of those lines, it has the tendency to possibly be a reversal. So what you could see is something like that, where we have a small reversal down, and if I click right here, we'll change that to green. you may see something like this. And so now you look at the chart. So there's multiple ways this thing could go. It can cut right through resistance 1, 2, and 3. The likelihood is very small, but it can happen. It'll cut through 1, 2, 3, and then right around 3, we're going to see reversal, and then you may see that it'll go right back up. And it could move on into your weekly support and resistance line. So that's when you're going to want to have your weekly chart up and looking at where your first resistance line is for your weekly. Now, the same thing goes for if this thing was in your support thing. If you were buying, like I said, that's if you were buying at your support 1. What happens if it was at support 2? Well, the same thing could possibly happen. It can go up to your support 1, and then it could fall back down right around there, because your support lines also can change into resistance lines. So you can see something that's like that. Go up to your first support, back down to your second support, and back up to your first support. And what you may see is that it could go back and forth, or you may see that it cuts right through your support and goes up to that resistance line. So it's multiple ways the market could go, So as of now, where are we stand? We're above the support 1 line, right? So you can tell where it went down, it hit the line, it went somewhere down in between the middle, support 1, support 2. And it's a possibility at this time that, today, once the market comes back up, that you can get in on this trade. And, as long as you get out right around that support 2, support 1, resistance 1, I'm sorry, guys. So resistance 1 or resistance 2, then you'll be good. If you don't get out by resistance 1, you risk the possibility of the market reversing on you and going downward. So right now we're going to delete our arrows, and hopefully I've showed you guys how it's set up, or hopefully you understand how we set up our support and resistance lines using Forex.com own resistance and support lines based off their pivot points, right? So this is an easy, or is the easiest way I found to set up support and resistance lines really quick. Like I said, you can always click on your weekly, and you see that the support and resistance lines are going to change, right? On the weekly chart. Same thing is going to happen when you click on monthly. They're going to change. So if you go back to your chart, you can easily change this to weekly. And as you can tell, the chart is clean now. We can push it down, and the chart is completely clean. There are no lines up here. Why? Because it's a different chart. It's the weekly chart versus we going right back up here and click on daily. And as you can see on the daily chart, we have all our lines. So we'll go on the weekly chart. Boom, clear chart. And we could do the same exact thing. We can go to weekly. We can say, all right, we're going to go resistance 3 at 110.735. Click back on hours, and we could do the same thing on horizontal line, and go to settings, and we know that was at 110. Can't remember the thing. It was 110.735. All right, so 110.735. And we'll go to visibility. Instead of being on days, we're only going to click weeks. And we're going to click on style. And then we're going to change that to resistance 3 weekly. So now, once we click on OK, we have our new resistance line. It's a weekly resistance line. Actually, I just made a second one by mistake. We'll delete that one. Boom. And you see it says resistance 3 weekly. So that's where the resistance line is. The third resistance line is for the weekly chart, right? And if we go over back to the daily chart, we see that there's no weekly resistance line up there. None whatsoever. We only have daily. So go back over here to weekly. Boom, you have that one line. You see no daily lines up there at all. So that's pretty much how you do it. And you can do the same thing if you go over here to the 1 month chart, and we can make it smaller and put it in a view so that everybody can really see a better view of how the candlesticks are going right now. And we could say, all right, on the monthly, our resistance 3 is at 123.346. So let's take a look. How far up is that? We'll do it one more time. Resistance 3 weekly. Back on it. Support. We'll change that to resistance 3 monthly. And then we'll go to visibility. We'll make sure that this time we have weeks clicked off and only have months set up. We'll go to coordinates. And once again, resistance 3 is 123.346. We're going to change that 123.346. We're going to click OK. So our monthly resistance line, 123.346, is set up right there. If we go to our weekly chart, we don't see our monthly, we only see our weekly line. If we go to our daily, and we move it up some, we move it around, you only see your daily, not your weekly or your monthly. So that's how you do your support and resistance lines, and how you use Forex.com to easily grab what your support and resistance lines are going to be. And if you want to go ahead and save this thing, you can click on it, you can put save, and what I'll put on here is capitalize euro/USD, and I'll put Forex on here so that I know what to go to. And now there's save euro/USD Forex, right? And I can always go in here, I can load chart layout, and you see I have everything set up. So if I click on AUD USD, it does the same thing. And I even have some other things on my chart that I'll go over another day. But Euro USD, and click on this right here, CAD/CHF, and I have some other things that I have set up right here on this particular chart. So this is a little bit more advanced, some of the things that I am working on. But we'll go back to the Euro USD, and once again, everything is right where we left it at. All your support and resistance lines are right there. So use that in order to try to predict where you could possibly get in on a trade for sell or for a buy. And then take a look at your weekly, because going into your weekly chart, you look at your resistance 3, it shows that your resistance 3 is at 110. So where are we at right now? We're at 107.37, 173 is in the market is headed downward according to the weekly chart. According to the daily chart, the market was headed upward, right? So going back to the daily chart, it says that the market was going upward. We can spread that out just to see, and we see that our first resistance will be right around that 108.591 range. So just take a look at those things, man. Hopefully I've gave you a little bit of enlightenment on how to set up your support and resistance lines. Keep in mind that these lines may change daily depending on how the market moves, right? How it maneuvers. So once again, this is Greg Bridges, Trading the Pips. Hopefully I gave you some type of insight on how to set up your support and resistance lines. You can always send me an email, comment on the post. Tell me what I could be doing to do things a bit better. Look me up on Instagram, Facebook, or anything on social media. I'm on most of the social media platforms. So once again, this is Greg Bridges, Trading the Pips. Hope you guys have a great day.